Hi guys, this is GodzillFan889 and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm just going to be answering a question that I'm sure a lot of you have had on your minds for... How do I say this? I'm sure a lot of... a question I'm sure a lot of you have had on your minds for quite some time. So yeah, I'm going to be answering a question that... why do I repeat myself? But yeah, I'm simply going to be answering what happened to Trevor Henderson vs. SCP Rise to Giants Part 2, one of my most anticipated videos, and what's going to happen to the Trevor Henderson vs. SCP series as a whole. So, yeah, I know a lot of you have been asking this, and I understand. I understand having to wait for something you're really excited for, and I understand. A lot of you are saying, like, I teased this over a year ago. What's happening to it? Is it canceled? Is it dead? Is it a dead project? All that stuff. And I'm gonna answer it today. Well, I'm also gonna explain, why it hasn't come out yet and other stuff. Again, sorry, this isn't really scripted. So yeah. Anyways. Let's just start with the obvious. What happened to Rise of Giants Part 2? Is it cancelled? Is it a dead project? The short answer is no, it isn't cancelled. I didn't forget about it. And yeah, like this picture says, production will continue soon. Well, except for a catch. It's going to be postponed. So you're going to have to wait a bit. And I'll explain why later. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Rise of Giants Part 2 isn't cancelled. I do actually have a good idea for where the series will go. It isn't because of a lack of vision, or it isn't because of relevancy either. I'm not going to cancel the series just because Trevor Henderson isn't relevant anymore, or it's not making as much cash or whatever. I have a good idea of what the series will entail, I guess. I have a good idea of where it will go. In fact, you can even have a free lore dump right now. This is a lore dump for the series. I have a general idea of what the general... how do I say this? I have a general idea of what the plot will be, I have a general idea of what the plot will be, what characters will be involved. I even have an idea of what the ending of Rise of Giants will be. I already have the ending in mind, and spoiler, it's gonna be pretty crazy. But yeah, I have an idea of what the ending is, and it's the same for for the main Trevor versus SCP series, the one with the most of the characters like Siren Head and 173 and all that. I do know where the series will go. I have some plot points in mind already, but I'm not sure the ending will be. But for Rise of Giants, I know where the series will go. I know the alignments, what the characters will do, and all that stuff. So, yeah. It's not because of a lack of vision and all that. It's because, well, let's move on to that, shall we? So first, it's just general burnout. I'm sure some of you have noticed that ever since 2020, I haven't really been uploading as much as I did in 2020, it's the upload schedule is decreased, but I still have managed to create stuff, of course, like some of my other projects, one of which I'll discuss later, and all sorts of stuff. I've been in community posts, sorta, and I think what I hope to do is I hope to regain my motivation so I can continue working on the projects I want to, simply put. So that's reason one. But for those of you who have been, again, sorry about this. This isn't scripted, but for those of you who have been on my channel for a bit, or those of you who have kept up recent developments, I'm sure you can kind of guess the other reason as to why Rise of Giants isn't being worked on. Well, I have made some progress on it, but not as much because of my other big series or big project, and that is indie game horror versus internet horror. That's right, the clash of the two most well-known horror genres on the internet right now, barring classics like horror films, but these are the two most modern genres of the internet, and Basically, I just want to make him fight. So yeah, that's the other thing that's been how do I say this? This is what I've been putting this is what I want to put my focus on for now, and I'll explain. So yeah, indie game horror versus internet horror is just a fun little thing I've been doing. Well, it's kind of fun little thing, but it's also gonna be a really big like fight. And if you're wondering why I'm prioritizing this over Rise of Giants Part 2, even though Rise of Giants Part 2 was teased first, technically. No, this definitely teased first. This teased all the way back in like early 2021. Indie game horror vs. internet horror didn't even start off as a serious project. It was the April Fool's special. Yeah, I remember the April Fool's of 2021. And I gradually decided to want to do it as an actual like serious project because of just how awesome it is. Well, it was originally supposed to be the Halloween special of last year, but I didn't have time to do it. I got caught up in some stuff, so ultimately I just replaced it with the two-parter, which was the Scarlet Sisters from Toho versus the Scarlet King, and then Bendron vs. NT303. Not much, but still kind of Halloweeny. So yeah, that was the replacement for it last year. Of course, I eventually released part 1 in November. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. So I'll explain more later, but I kind of want, why do I mean kind of? I want indie game horror versus internet horror to be the Halloween special of this year. So before you ask, aren't these two projects just technically the same? It's just like series fighting each other? Not really. Rise of Giants Part 2 is more plot-oriented. There's going to be some, like, it's not just going to be pure action and fighting. There's going to be some plots and stuff. It is going to be mostly fighting, but there's going to be, some, like, plots that connect it all. You know, the plots, there will be different battles and all that. There will be different plot points. It's, yeah, there will be different plot points with different characters doing different things. I think you get the point. I think you get the point at this point. Sorry about that. But I think you kind of get it. Like, you know, there'll be these different characters and sort of spoiler alert, maybe not really. It'll eventually culminate, if you know what I mean. It'll culminate, they'll all like get together. But for now they're fighting their own battles, like, you know, as I teased in there, Behemoth will be like fighting some small armies, Highway Worm will fight Highway Worm will fight Abel. 4715 will fight the Red Dot Giant, all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, I have the general plot planned out, and it is gonna be like I said, it is gonna be mainly story oriented. Indie game horror versus internet horror, on the other hand, it'll have its own story as well, but it'll be more chaotic. It'll be more focused on the fight. There isn't really much of a overarching story in this. Well, there is, and it's just I want to have two of the most famous genres of horror on the internet beat each other up, and that's basically about it. There'll be multiple parts of this, of indie game horror versus internet horror, and for that reason, as well as the reason I mentioned earlier, I'm going to give it further priority. Well, not further priority. I mean, I'll give it a large. How do I say this? I'll give it a larger priority for now than I will give Rise of Giants Part 2. Again, that doesn't mean Rise of Giants Part 2 is cancelled. That means it'll just be postponed, like I said before. Indie game horror vs. internet horror, I want it to be the Halloween special, but how exactly? And apologies if you hear stuff in the back. Apologies if you hear stuff in the background. It's most likely just my That's most likely just my dog. So yeah, indie game horror versus internet horror. I hope I've been screwing up the name this entire video, but yeah, I'm planning for it to be the Halloween special. Ideally, in my ideal plan. Why am I repeating myself so much? So yeah, ideally, I want all parts really made, or not really made, finished before Halloween. I want all parts finished for Halloween. On Halloween, or near Halloween, I want to release it as like a full video of all parts. It'll only go up to 4 parts in my plan, but if that doesn't, sorry if I keep stuttering and stuff. If that doesn't work, worst case scenario, I'll just release a part on Halloween or near Halloween. Whether that's hopefully that's part 3 if it comes to, you know, if it if it if it if it comes to that, hopefully it's part 3 and not part 2. I want to release part 2 way before Halloween, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's my main motivation for now. You know, Indie Game Horror vs. Internet Horror will be the Halloween special of this year. Hopefully, all parts will be released on Halloween. It'll be like a full thing. So yeah, again, that doesn't mean either of the projects, Rise of Giants are cancelled. Both of them will continue. It's just that for now, Indie Game Horror vs. Internet Horror will take the, how do I say this? It'll be the priority. However, there is also the possibility of me releasing Rise of Giants Part 2 in chunks, like cutting up a little, but it isn't really confirmed though. I've only admittedly, this option I've only really been considering now. I'm not sure if I can execute it properly, but I'll think about it. Maybe I can just release like little snippets and stuff. Maybe some further looks into the world of Trevor Henderson vs. SCP. That's the unique thing. It's gonna be like it's basically how do I say this? It's an entire plot of the. Again, sorry if I keep stuttering. It's an entire plot of the Trevor monsters basically attacking the world of the SCP Foundation, and it's the SCP world's attempts to fight back against the giants and other stuff. So yeah, it'll be again much different from Indie Game Horror vs. Internet Horror, where they're just thrown in this field. They start fighting each other. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So yeah, again, those are basically my plans, and an explanation on what's gonna happen to Rise of Giants Part 2. So again, it isn't cancelled. It isn't. I'm not planning on canceling it. It's just gonna be postponed in favor of Indie Game Horror vs. Internet Horror for now. So yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you'll be excited for my future projects, including these two. But other than these two, I have a lot more planned, which might take varying amounts of time to release. Like, I have MCP Mobels planned. I still need to think of a good 50k special. I have the movie Eggman vs. Monster vs. Mechagodzilla planned, and some other stuff. So yeah. Hopefully this helps you. How do I say this? Hopefully this explains what happened to a project I've been teasing for a long time. Hopefully, yeah, it kind of alleviates your fears. Again, it's not canceled. Things take time. Good projects take time. So hopefully you'll understand it. So thanks for watching. My voice went too high. So thanks for watching, and bye.